there. Good morning. All right, let me get my chair situated first, just because I'm running a little bit late. Woke up late. I ignored my alarm is what happened. I ignored my alarm, so I apologize for running a little bit late this morning. Now, let me get a couple sips of coffee. Okay. Oh, hey, good morning, Addison. Let's see that you're on. Yeah. I look tired. I am tired. And I'm late. Maybe I should have titled this like Alice in Wonderland bunny stuff. Whatever. I'm always late. Don't worry about it. I say that people who don't worry about time so much are the happiest people. So, I guess maybe I'm one of the happiest people out there because I just don't worry about time. I don't mind being late. It's just part of life. I don't make a big deal out of it. Today's topic, though, is love like diamonds. Good morning, Michael. Love like diamonds. And I guess I'm going to end up telling you a little bit of a story here. And actually, that's probably what the whole Conscious Coffee is going to be, is this story. So this morning, I have been talking a lot about consciousness and a lot about presence and stillness and just all this stuff of trying to create abundance. And we have not talked a lot on just the absolute of love and what, about love. And this is even more so. I'm not going to talk about romantic love. It's not, it can be romantic love. This is just love generalized. So love for the people in your life. And the story I want to tell you is a story about a candle maker. This candle maker, he was a very, very poor candle maker. And he was struggling, and him and his wife, and they had lots of children, and it was just struggle. And it was really, really bad because he was this candle maker, and there were other candle makers, and it wasn't that big deal. So he was a good candle maker. But everybody in the village that he lived in told him about this island that diamonds were like pebbles and stones everywhere. When you landed on the beach was just full of diamonds. It was this amazing place. So he got thinking about it, and he went, if I take one of the ships, if I get on the next ship going towards that island, I can collect a whole bunch of diamonds, and I can basically rescue my family. I can just save my family. So he talks to his wife and to his children, and they don't want to see him go, but at the same time, they're starving, basically. Life is bad. So he gets on the next ship, and he arrives on this island, and sure enough, the beach it is nothing but diamonds. It was true. Everything was true. There was just massive amounts of just diamonds laying there, just like the sand was just made out of diamonds. So he gets off the ship, and he's so excited, and he grabs these little bags out of his sorry, I told you I was tired. He grabs these little bags out of his pockets and stuff, and he fills them all full of diamonds, and he's just filling them up. And one of the locals come by and look at him and say, "Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Why are you doing that? Those are worthless." And he's like, "What? They're not worthless." He's like, "Oh yeah, they're worthless. There's like, nobody wants anything to do with them. Blah, 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 blah. It's meaningless." And the guy's like, "Okay, whatever." So he just keeps filling his little bags full of diamonds. And the guy goes, "Well, it doesn't much matter because the ship that you just came in on won't be back for 7 years. And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, the ship won't be back for 7 years. So I wouldn't put any faith into those stones there because they're not going to do anything for you." you need to be able to survive. If you want to leave again, you got to be able to survive. And the guy's like, oh, well, I'm a candle maker. And the guy's like, okay. So the candle maker, he takes off with the local man, and he goes into town, and he gets, figures things out, and years go by. And he because it's 7 years until the ship comes in, and he ends up making incredible candles, opening up a storefront, having a humongous business, having all this stuff. And like, he is really, really successful on this island. He is really successful, and he's happy and he's joyous. And all these years are going by. The only problem is he misses his family so much. He really, really misses his family. So 7 years come, and he is excited to go back to his family. He wants to go see his family. So he packs up all of his belongings, all of his treasures. He gets on the ship, and he goes back to his family. When he arrives back home, his wife and his children, they're ecstatic to see him. They're like, oh my gosh, ooh. And they're so excited because they know that he's going to have all these diamonds. So they go through all of his belongings. There's not one diamond to be found. Not one diamond to be found. And the wife, she gets very, very upset. And she's like, you've left us for 7 years, and you were gone, and we thought that you were potentially dead, and you were supposed to come back bearing, like, where are the diamonds? And he goes, oh. And he sees his mistake. He realizes his mistake, that he was given this opportunity to go out and to collect all these diamonds and to bring them back and to completely change his family's life. And he forgets about the diamonds. And here he is now, back at home, in the exact same situation as what he was 7 years prior before he left. Same situation that he left to go and save them from. He's right back in that same situation, basically destitute. So he went from having everything, all this different stuff, to coming back down to being destitute. Because of what? He didn't bring home the diamonds. So the moral of my tale about the candle maker and the land of diamonds is this candle maker, his lesson was that he missed opportunity, obviously. He missed the opportunity to bring home the diamonds. He got caught up in everything else, and he forgot his reason as to why he even left. And he was so caught into what he wanted and what he, in that moment, that he forgot, he left behind the opportunity that could have potentially changed his family's life. So we do this every single day of our lives, and we do this with love. We do this with love. We do this with the people in our lives. And we are given these opportunities every single day to show love, true love, not conditional love, not love that is like here, not needy love, but true love. And we do this in so many different ways. Like when we do it with our children, when we give them, ultimatums, we make love conditional. We do this with our mates, we make love conditional. We do this with even, our friends and our other family and, our neighbors. We have all these opportunities to show and give love, and we shut them down repeatedly, and we miss those opportunities. We miss them constantly. So think of yourself, like, where in the world are you missing the opportunity to show love? And, find yourself, how many times have you gone out there and you've done all this different stuff and you get caught up in negativity, you get caught up in frustration and overwhelm and anxiety and fear and worry, and you make statements to somebody that you care about, that you love, but you make these statements, or you do something very rash, not even, there's no pause button, you just are very reactive, and you just jump in and you charge forward, and next thing you know, it's like you blow the situation up, and you could have, if you had paused, if you had considered, you could have approached it in a state of love. You could have approached it with a state of compassion, empathy. These are things of love. Compassion's not loveless. Empathy is not loveless. They are aspects of love. So every time we turn away from compassion, we turn away from empathy, we turn away from gratitude, we turn away from, a need to please ourselves and actually just look at what the scenario might be if we just pause and try to get the bigger picture. Because we really do walk into a lot of the love that we consider today is based on how somebody else makes us feel. And if you're looking at a situation from a state of how do you make me feel, and that determines the love, then that's not really love, that's need. So it's very, very interesting. I see this a lot in relationships, especially like with my married couples out there, where different people will say, oh well, she is not meeting my needs, not meeting my expectations, they're not doing this, and it is perceived then like, well, since they're not meeting this, that means that they're not loving me, or I'm going to take away my love, I'm going to react like this instead of like this because my needs are not being met. Well, the thing about love is that it's supposed to be given freely and without expectation, without blockage, and we're just supposed to lean in and let go. And I know that that's a very tough statement to say, but it is very, very much about resisting our restriction to love. And the restriction to love is to act in fear, in worry, in control, in jealousy, in all of these different things. And to really learn how to pause and try to take in the situation from a different space, because often when we restrict that need to react, if we really look at it, what we're going to see is that when we are giving, good morning, Steve, when we are giving, that we can go into this state of true giving versus, well, I'll say true sharing versus giving. And it's so important to really authentically share. And sharing is about, and we're talking about sharing love, right? To share love is to give without the expectation of it coming back. So I can love somebody and they don't have to do anything to show me that they love me back. I can have, I can give this love without them having to do 1, 2, 3 for me. And that is really a statement of love. That is true love going out. So, good morning, Sarah. I'm looking for this quote. My light in here is not very good this morning. I mean, it's the same light. My eyes just aren't awake enough. Oh, here we go. We get caught up in the daily grind, desperately trying to fulfill our roles as parents, breadwinners, children, and friends, while forgetting our ultimate purpose. And it really is, when you look at it, it is that getting caught up in whatever our roles are, and it prevents us from, it creates us to have this reactive nature. So, it's the parent who says, I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one who pays the bills. Therefore, you're going to do this, and I expect this. That's a statement of condition, not of unconditioned. And what it does is it builds in the program to the child or whoever it is it's being talked to, right? That there are conditions on the love. When I'm dealing with couples, I always ask couples, well, do you turn inward or do you turn away? Are you doing more turnaways than turn towards? And they're like, huh? I'm like, well, it's very, very simple. Like, when you are dealing with your spouse, are you turning toward them? Like when they come to you and they try to do something nice for you, like I always use a cup of coffee. You know, you're sitting at your desk and your mate brings you a cup of coffee and sits it down. Do you just continue typing and go, yeah, thanks? Or do you actually stop what you're doing, turn and connect with this person, you know, and actually give back and make sure that that person knows that you are very consciously present and sharing that energy? Because obviously anytime somebody is doing something for us, it's not that we owe them anything. It's just that if you want love to go back, realize that they don't have to do anything for you. Love is not about fulfilling your needs. In love, we do want to fulfill each other's needs. We want to support each other. That is part of love. But it is not a requirement to love somebody that you must fill their needs. It has nothing to do with any of it. But it is very much that if you love somebody, perhaps open up and let them know that you love them, right? So that is that turn toward, make sure that your love is being shown in different ways. Try to do different things for your friends, your partners, your children, anybody in your life, even the stranger. You can share love with a stranger. It's like I said, we're not talking about just intimate love here. We're not talking about just romantic love. We're talking about love generalized. And doing something for somebody that cannot give it back to you is actually one of the highest statements of love. And here's a trick to that one, to really, really expand on the power of love and to grow yourself consciously and spiritually, is to do something and then not go brag about it. And this means don't even brag in your head to yourself. So no patting yourself on the back like, yeah, I gave that guy $100 and blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. We just keep it quiet. Just drop it. Like, you go do something, just ignore it and carry on with your life. Know that's good enough, because anytime you are getting something back, including your own pat on the back in your head from your ego, then it is not a true act of sharing. There is a disconnect there. You could call it, I refer to it as a short circuit. It's kind of like when a light bulb blows out right before there's this great light and then things go dark. Well, we can go do something really, really great, but if we focus in on the need to receive afterwards, then it basically kills it and blow out, short circuit. All of a sudden you're in darkness. Same thing applies when we are showing love to the people in our life. Do things for the people in your life. Don't miss out on those opportunities and that are around us every single day, to make sure that the people that we are around receive our love, or at least have the opportunity to receive our love, because we leave these diamonds, much like the man in my story on the front end of this. We leave them laying on the beach. We go out and we're like, because we all want what? We all want love, we all want connection, we all want happiness, right? We want those three things. So if we want love, connection, and happiness, then how do we get those? Well, we get those by giving those. Plain and simple. You don't just go out and go, okay, give this to me. But this is what we do in life, right? We go out and we have this expectation that it should be given to us, and then we don't have to have that in return. We don't have to give that in return, but we have to give in order to receive, and that giving needs to come without the conditions. So that means get loving everybody in your life. Look for those opportunities for everybody to be able to share and not to expect back. And really, really start to pay attention at the different ways that, where are the diamonds that you're laying behind, and on that daily basis to really examine. And that means the words that are coming out of your mouth, the actions that you're taking. Notice, and my hope in this video is that I'm just making you aware of the small little actions. They may seem small, they build up, right? Like all those diamonds on that beach, and in the start of my talk here, all those diamonds on the beach, well, it might be like, oh, it's just one little diamond, it's not a big deal. Well, over time, you do end up creating a beach full of diamonds that gets left behind. And so look at your actions, look at your words, look at the things that you are, not giving to those that you love, that you care about in so many different ways. And then try to see if you can find a space that you can give unconditionally to anybody in your life without the need to have it come back to you, because that is such a major ticket on this love gig, you could say, for us to really expand ourselves, to grow in love, and to really be able to give love, is the restriction of having that need to receive back. Because the need to receive back is the ego. It is the ego saying, no, I give to you, you give to me, it's all good. So you see, that's very commerce, isn't it? And it's like, oh, that's duty based. So I give to you, you give to me, and it's like we're having a business exchange. That's not what love is. Love is not a business exchange. It's not, no. But so many people do. And then you move that down, and let's take it into a romantic, intimate relationship real quick. And if we look at the romantic, intimate relationship, I know that I deal a lot with majority of the time it's men saying this. Sometimes it's women saying it, but the majority of the time it's men saying it. And they'll say, well, I just feel like my wife, the only time she's intimate with me is, when I ask for it. And then I feel like it's duty that she doesn't even want to. And I don't want my wife to do anything that she doesn't want to do, but I want her to want it. I want her to want it. I don't want it to be duty. Due to the raising that we have had in society, we look at love, intimacy, sex, as though it is much like this. All right, well, you're paying the bills, and you're doing this, and you're doing that, so I'll just give myself to you. Now, I could run down a completely different topic with this and get into an area that I'm not going to do today, but it really is, like, what are we saying in that? We're using so much in our romantic relationships as though it is just a business deal, and it is this back and forth giving. And what I want you to look at is, where are the places that you're doing these things? Because we don't just do them in our intimate relationships. We do them in we do this in all of our relationships. Where are you fulfilling a duty and thinking that that is your duty to do, instead of saying, no, I'm not going to just give this person my duty. I'm going to give them my authentic self, and realize that love does not always say yes. Love says no too. Love has boundaries. Love is true. Love states its truth, and it isn't always pretty and perfect, okay? To give somebody your love means to give them your truth, and to stand in that, and sometimes do difficult things, which might mean that you're sharing, something that they're not necessarily comfortable with, but out of love, you are giving this to them, okay? It takes out our personal need in the situation, and that's what I want you to look at. Start questioning yourself. Just take today, and as you're working with people, and as you're interacting with people in your private life, in your work life, out there in the world, even at the grocery store, just kind of keep on the back of your mind the question of, this reaction, was it based in love or was it based in need? And that's basically it. Where am I getting something out of this? If you state something, you get very, very passionate about it, just pause and look and say, what am I getting from this? How is this serving me? Because what you're going to find is that 99% of the time, everything that you think you're doing to make a point, to do something for somebody else, it actually has nothing to do with the other person. It has everything to do with your needs, your desires, and you getting this pumped up, this picture, the rooster on the farm pumping itself up, right? So it's like that, and that's what you're doing for yourself inside. So really look at that. So how is this based in love, or is this based in need? Plain and simple. How is this serving me? Okay? So there you go. I know it's been a short conscious coffee, but I think that the story kind of should have hopefully impacted you enough to kind of get you thinking about where your missed opportunities on love are, and those questions. So I will catch you guys probably later with Relationship Tuesday stuff, since I already started this with kind of like a relationship a little bit. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, hopefully on time, for Conscious Coffee as well. So if you have it in your heart, as always, please share this Conscious Coffee. Please share whatever in the comments. I do read the comments, but the biggest thing is help me get Conscious Coffee out by just hitting the little share button. Hopefully, if a couple people do that, you can impact other people's lives and help as well on the side to just keep Conscious Coffee going every single morning. Okay, I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow morning around 6 a.m. Bye.